Greetings from the Arcturians, from Prophet Muhammad and Hazrat Aisha, al-Mu'mineen Aisha, and their avatar, which would be me. And as their avatar in this lifetime, in this incarnation or reincarnation, I've been going through and reading through the Muslim holy book Quran slowly. And I'm on chapter 32 called Al-Sajda in Arabic, which translates as the prostration or just prostration in English. And you know, when I came upon this chapter, my first question was, and the first thing I thought to myself was, and the first thing I asked was, where did this al-sajda or sajda or prostration thing come from? Like, that was my first thought. That was my first question. That's the first thing I asked. God, Allah, Spirit, my soul. And the inner voice of my soul answered and said, Jews. And of course, when I say my soul, I mean Prophet Muhammad's soul and Hazrat Aisha's soul, al-Mu'mineen Aisha's soul. Which means Prophet Muhammad's soul and Hazrat Aisha, al-Mu'mineen Aisha's soul, told me that this sajda or prostration came from the Jews, basically. So then what do we have here? And what does that mean? Who came up with the name of this chapter of the Muslim holy book Quran, chapter 32? Who came up with the name of this chapter? That's another question, isn't it? And do Muslims know the answer? I guess not. How will they know the answer if they don't even question or if they don't even ask? And since this sajda or prostration thing has come from the Jews originally, then who are Muslims copying? Doesn't that mean that Muslims are copying the Jews? While there's so much anti-Jewish sentiment in the Muslim world, but Muslims don't even realize that they are copying the Jews when it comes to sajda and prostration. How does that work? Beats me. But then again, Muslims have been programmed with this religious programming, which is false religious programming, coming from the devil and his minions, his human minions. So Muslims have been programmed with this false religious programming of, oh, don't you dare question anything when it comes to religion, meaning the religion of Islam, when it comes to the holy book, the Muslim holy book, Quran, and when it comes to hadith or hadith even, which is supposed to be the sayings of Prophet Muhammad, but how much of the hadith or hadith have even come from Prophet Muhammad is another question. But because Muslims have been programmed with this false religious programming of, oh, don't you dare question anything, because that's a sin, even when their own holy book Quran says it's okay to reason. But do Muslims even know about that? Because how many Muslims out there actually bother to read their own book in a language they understand, other than parroting it in Arabic? Because how could anyone even reason without questioning, without asking? But no, questioning, asking has been turned into a sin too, especially questioning anything to do with religion, the religion of Islam, the Muslim holy book Quran, the Hadith or Hadith has been turned into a sin. Why? It's been turned into a sin on purpose. Why? God, or Allah for Muslims, doesn't stop you from questioning, doesn't stop you from asking about things, especially if you're curious, especially if you want to know about things. So then use your common sense. Who would want to stop you from questioning anything, from asking about anything, from being curious about things, from wanting to learn about things, and especially wanting to learn the truth of things, or just the truth, period? It's the devil. It's the dark side. But why can't Muslims see that? Because they're believing the devil's lies and the devil's false religious programming. Because that's what they get programmed with since childhood. And so they just accept it. And if they don't, and the ones who don't, like myself, let me give my own example. The ones who dare to question, the ones who dare to ask, because we want to learn and we want to know the truth, then we get demonized. Then we get outcasted. People think, oh, we are of the devil. Because that's what the devil wants you to think about people like me. And you do exactly that. You fall for the devil's tricks and lies and the devil's false religious programming like this. And then you start demonizing people like me. You start outcasting people like me. You start thinking that people like me are of the devil when I'm actually of God. Because you can't tell the difference. Because you rather believe the lies, the corruption, the distortions, the false religious programming that the devil and his human minions have fed you for thousands of years now in the name of the religion of Islam, in the name of God or Allah, and even in the name of Prophet Muhammad. When in reality, that false religious programming and those lies have not come from God or Allah, and they have not come from Prophet Muhammad either. And I've just told you where they've come from. And if you don't want to believe me, because you're unable to even use your common sense and you're unable to think for yourselves, then that's your issue. That's your problem that you need to work on upon yourselves and within yourselves. So bottom line, where did this sajda or prostration thing come from? It's come from the Jews, and Muslims are copying Jews when it comes to sajda or prostration. And then of course you also have to question who put that, in the Muslim holy book Quran, and why? And you know what? Last night, my spirit guides, the Arcturians, gave me a quick dream download. And they were asking me to encourage people in general, because I know that, Muslims are not the only ones who are on my channel. But, they were asking me to ask people in general, and also Muslims, to, interact with me and have interaction with people. And I've never been against that. But the problem is, when I'm doing this kind of work, which is fundamentally tearing down people's and in particular Muslims' false religious programming by the devil, by the dark side, and by the devil's human minions. When I'm tearing down that false religious programming that people and Muslims believe or have been deceived to believe that it has come from God or Allah and Prophet Muhammad, when it has not, because I keep saying it's come from the devil and his human minions. But, people and Muslims have been deceived to believe that all this false religious programming has come from God or Allah and Prophet Muhammad. So then, when I'm tearing it down because I'm bringing out the truth of it all, then why would people and Muslims want to interact with me? And I know they don't, because if they wanted to interact with me, they would have already done so. They don't want to interact with me because, frankly speaking, I'm making them quite uncomfortable and triggered even, because they are comfortable with the devil's lies and the devil's false religious programming. They rather believe the devil's lies and the devil's false religious programming than knowing the truth coming from me, coming from us, meaning Prophet Muhammad and Hazrat Aisha, al-Mu'mineen Aisha. I've never had any problem interacting with people. I have no problem with interaction. I am open to interaction. But my question is, who is open to learning the truth out there, especially in the Muslim world and especially the Muslims? Who's open to learning the truth? If any of you out there are, then hey, come and interact with me. You're welcome. Come and talk to me. You're welcome. You're all welcome. It doesn't matter if you're Muslims or non-Muslims, or even atheists or agnostics. As I keep saying, I'm open to all. And if any of you out there who are listening to me, at least listening to me, and you resonate with me, because you are truth seekers too, like me, then please like and share my videos and these messages. Please show your support in that way. If that's all you could do, or if that's the least you could do to show your support. And please share my videos so these messages can get out to others like you and I, to other like-minded people out there. But then, of course, I have asked people to share my videos before in the past and no one did. And that's because everyone's scared. Because of course, how can they share my videos and these messages when I'm going against the grain? When I'm going against everything they know, everything they're familiar with, and everything they're comfortable with, even if it is all a lie. And people, especially Muslims, are afraid to share my videos and my messages because they don't want to put their lives at risk. And I can understand that. I understand that. But then I also keep thinking, but then how will people, and Muslims in particular, how will they learn and grow and evolve? I guess I shall leave that up to you, up to people, if you want to learn, grow, and evolve or not. That's up to you. That's up to people. And it's up to Muslims and the Muslim world. Because I can't force anyone. We can't force anyone. All I can do is be the messenger and bring the messages that I'm asked to bring to people and Muslims. That's all I can do. And whether you want to learn, grow, and evolve or not, that's up to you. We shall leave it there for this one. Take care. Over and out.